So you are wanting things, yes? You are wanting things that you don't have yet. So how does that feel? How does it feel to not be with your desire right now? How does it feel that your manifestation isn't here? Does it feel like does your desire still feel exciting? Or are you disappointed about the fact that it's not here yet? Because you're wanting things, right? You're wanting manifestations. You would like that money now. You want that career advancement now. You want that book now. Because we're not talking about the small puny desires, because those are easy. You can get them no problem. Like that song that you really like that you haven't been able to find the name of. Those things are easy to find. But what we want to talk about is the big desires, because those big desires, the things that you claim big desires, they're ringing our bells. And did you know that those big desires, they should be the easiest to manifest, because those are the things that you've thought about for the longest. And because you've thought about them for long, there's so much momentum. Source has so much momentum drummed up ready for you. So those big desires should be ready for you. Maybe, are you ready for it though? Maybe you want to be the best writer ever. Maybe you want to have a literary masterpiece. Maybe you want to be the best singer in the world, the most awarded singer in the world. Maybe you just want to be an actor. Maybe you just want to be happy and content living in a big house. Maybe you want to have an empire at your beck and call. Maybe you want to be one of the richest people in the world. Maybe you want all of these things, and none of these things are bad. But when you declare something as a big desire, when you declare it like that, you declare it as far-fetched. It's far-fetched, meaning I don't know how I'm gonna get there, meaning the reality that I'm looking at right now and what I want is so night and day. And then you start to get this attitude of like, okay, I understand the law of attraction, I'm gonna clean up my point of attraction. So now I understand, by talking about what I wanted, I know how to make this desire feel good to me. So now that it feels good to me, I'm still having a little bit of doubt. There's still this piece of doubt, because I can't go all in on this desire, because I don't know how I'm gonna do it. This is too big. I have no capability right now. So if I could just see a little piece of it, if I could just see a little single piece of the manifestation, I would believe it. If someone could stop me on the road today and tell me, do you know that you're gonna be the best writer in the whole world? Do you know that you're gonna be one of the best singers in the whole world? You're gonna be a vocalist of our times. Do you know that you're onto great things? If I could get a message like that, I would believe it. I would believe myself. And then when you don't get those messages, when reality doesn't reflect your big dream, you're like, damn, my big dream is not here. Because it's really those big dreams that you have to really hold your understanding of vibrational reality the most, because what you want is already completed. It's done in the vibrational reality. And we always say it's complete, it's ready for you. And when we say that, we really want you to get into this attitude of like, it's completed, it's done. That destination is a for sure. It's not a pipe dream, it's a for sure. There's no risk, there's no danger, it's for sure. Your big dream is for sure. That's what the leverage of the vortex offers you. But the vortex is so powerful, the vortex won't just give you the desire. It's like, you're like, okay, I understand I'm on this journey, but I just want it now. So the vortex is not going to feel bad for you and be like, okay, it's like you order food, and since it's taking so long, the chef is like, let's just give them uncooked food. Let's cook the food halfway and give it to them, because that's what you want. You're like, something is better than nothing. But we're like, that's not true. Something is not better than nothing, because the vortex doesn't understand that. Because to the vortex is at such a high frequency. And remember, the vortex is where everything that you want is. It's gestating there, it's bubbling there, it's having a life there. It's a whole world that precedes your physical reality right now. So when that's the case, right, you're like, I'm impatient though. I'm impatient because I don't see, oh, this is crazy. I'm impatient. So you really harbor this, especially on those big dreams, you harbor this attitude of impatient. I'm so impatient. So when you're impatient, you step into this attitude of like, if I could just see some of it, I would be good. I'm not going to rest until I see it. I need to see, I need to prove it to myself. I need to know that it exists. And we're telling you, you're barking up the wrong tree. You're looking for love in all the places where it doesn't exist. You can't get there from there. You cannot get there from there, because those big desires have you in a chokehold, because you need to go with them, because you can't give up on those desires. You have to find a way to be like, to really understand the emotions, because you're looking for that wrong evidence. Because when you get impatient, you get in this attitude of like, okay, I want to just see it. But you're using the wrong metric of success. Because here's the thing, you can quantify all of your dreams. You can really be, do, or have anything that you want. But in order for you to do that, you have to understand your emotions. It doesn't matter, like, it doesn't matter what your understanding of the law of attraction is. You just have to really understand what your emotions mean. When you feel good, you're good. When you feel good, you're literally on the path that source is not that the source has for you. The path that you have made on your behalf and hold steady on your behalf. It's because of you. You're the one who created it. So when you feel bad, you're on the opposite. You're going in the opposite direction. And then so you get into this attitude of like, well, this big dream, I don't see any piece of it, so that must mean it's not real. If I could just see it, I would. But here's the thing: you can't see your desire until it's done, until it's manifested. Because once it's manifested, it's too late to doubt it, because you can see it with your eye. But what about the journey? The journey is where you get sloppy, because there's so much buffer time, and the buffer time is really just about how long it takes for your doubt to dissipate, for you to replace doubt with knowing. Because that's what happens when you understand all this. You're like, ooh, reality doesn't reflect what I want. It's because what I want is already 99% vibrationally done, but the 99% that's already vibration completed is not reflected in the physical reality. So when I look in the physical reality to understand, to see how I'm doing my progress, I'm not doing good. I'm not doing, because I don't see it. So then you turn around. You turn around instead of going forward. You turn around and you're like, oh, I must not be doing good. I must be doing a bad job. What's going on? And then so you get in this really like analytical mindset where you're trying to figure out what exactly you did wrong, and you're trying to fix it. You're like, okay, I did this here, because you're a deliberate creator. So you think that you're so used to thinking where like it's just about feeling. Because here's the thing, you can take yourself anywhere you want to go, but in order to do that, you have to know where you're going. You have to know how to quantify it. And when you think about quantifying, you're like, oh, you mean just look at reality? So if I'm such a powerful creator, then won't I see evidence in my physical reality? We're like, yes, you will, but that's not until later. Right now, all you have is a vibrational version of it. And the vibrational version, the only way that means anything to you is your emotions. You transit through your emotions. So when you feel good about your millions, that means that you are now on your way to your millions. You're on your way. And as long as you don't look at reality and get disappointed because you understand, I don't see it, but it's still 99% done because I feel good about it. So now you're using how you feel as your indication of how well you're doing. So when you're like, oh, I feel good about the desire, you're going along the path. You're going along the path. And that's the thing is we don't want you to be so hold every thought so tightly close to you. We don't want you to get in this attitude of like every thought matters and I have to make every second count. It's not like that, because even in that attitude, you're noticing the absence. We really want you to let go. And sometimes it feels scary to let go because there's that doubt. You're like, what if it doesn't work out? What if I still end up disappointed? And we're like, but that's your negative emotion. What does that feel? When you have that thought of like, well, I've been disappointed so many times. What if it happens to me again? What if it doesn't work out? What if I do something wrong? What does that feel like? It feels like frustration. It feels like fear. And what is that telling you? That's telling you that you're on the right path. Because that negative thought means you're off the path. And that's what we say, friends. You can't get it wrong because you're always on your path. You're eternally on your path. And you can't even mess it up because the path will always, you don't have to worry about the path. You don't have to worry about the path because the path is always there. The question is, are you on the path? The question is, are you receiving the instructions to be on the path? So that's what it's about, because this is not the art of, this is the art of making things fall into your lap, because you don't want the half cooked food. You want the entire meal. You want you want the book that's completed. You don't want you want the book that's going to be the best-selling book, one of the best, that's unprecedented, that breaks sales. And when it comes into your mind, you don't even edit it. It's so good because that's what you want. That's truly what you want. You don't want to work hard. You don't need to do anything. That's the thing. We want you to sit in this attitude of people are like, oh my God, it feels like you're just confident about everything. It feels like everything's coming to you. And you're like, yeah, because I understand the laws of the universe, because I'm not using reality to understand how I'm doing. I'm using how I feel. So when I feel good about my millions, I know I'm going to see it soon. And you know what happens when you use your emotions as your indication of how well you're doing on any manifestation? You start to expectation happens. You start to settle into expectation, and then in your expectation you become your desire, because you're not saying, oh, like when I have it, like now you're not thinking about your desire with this little shred of doubt, because you're thinking this desire is going to this desire is going to come, it's going to prove it to me. Because here's the thing, you understand this, you feeling good, and then you're like, oh, like I'm going to see this manifestation, and blah, blah, blah. And it's funny, it plummets. Your vibration you can't stay on the high frequency, because instead of being satisfied with how it feels, you're jumping all the way to the manifestation. But you can't do that. You have to bridge the emotional gap, because you can't go from unwanted to wanted. You know what it really comes down to? It really comes down to the fact that you know what you have in your vibrational? You know what's stuck in your vibrational car? You know what's stuck in you? You know what's holding you back from everything, all the big stuff? Is that you want to see it. You want to prove it to yourself. You're like, oh, because manifestation still is something that you hold so close to you. You're like, this is worthy. This is worthiness. This is like, everyone's going to be like, pat me on the back. It's going to prove that I'm the best creator in the world. But we're like, under those circumstances, it's not going to come to you, because it can't come to prove it to yourself to you. Because this is the art of making things fall into your lap. It has to fall into your lap. If it's not falling into your lap, you're not really using the vortex. It should be so easy that you're like, damn, it literally feels like it just popped out of thin air, because that's what it is. Because all you have to do is realize it. You don't even have to find it. You don't have to go and look for it. You just have to realize it, because friends, you already did all the work. You did all the work. That's what law of attraction is about. Law of attraction is all about knowing what that frequency feels like, knowing what that desire feels like, and then doing all that you can to match your frequency so much that it becomes easy to choose, so much that you really gather an expectation. Because now you're like, oh, I'm gonna go there. Because when you're on the train ride, are you worried about the train? Like when you're going from point A to point B, imagine you've been on the subway multiple times, and you're on the subway, and you don't completely do not under any circumstances doubt that you're going to get to the stop that you want to get to, because you've done it so many times. You have so much belief about it. You're like, subways work. And even if you're late, even if you're running late, even if there's a terrible slowdown, even if something really bad happens, no matter what, that subway's going to take me to the end, because even if it takes time, it's still going to take me to the end. And so you don't doubt it, because even if you doubt it, even if you're worried about being late, the most dominant frequency that you have in that moment is your knowledge that the subway is going to take you. It's like you feel annoyance if anything, but you're like, I'm still going to get there. Like, I'll get there late, but I'm still going to get there. And so friends, that's what your desires should feel like. You should feel like that on your ability. It's like, I'm going to get there because my emotions tell me that I'm going on the right path. Because when you're not using reality, here's the thing, when you don't use reality to measure your progress, because here's the thing, reality will tell you that it's not true, but we're telling you it's already 99% completed. So when you're worried about timing and you're like, when is it going to come? Really remember, it's already 99% finished. So all you really have to do is realize it. All you have to do is realize it. You don't have to, you don't even have to go out there and look for it. You just have to realize it. And so in your path of realization to realization, it's really all about expectation. Use the power of your expectation, because that's what the people who are rich, that's what they do. They don't use their effort. They don't use their business savvy. In fact, all of their business savvy comes from, and even those who are artists, all of their artistic abilities comes from expectation. They don't doubt it. They don't doubt that they're going to get to the stop that they want to get to. They just know that they are. You can say that they're confident, you can say that they're arrogant, but we just say no, they understand their well-being. They understand who they are. They understand how they understand how to get themselves to everywhere. And here's the thing, you can get yourself to anywhere you want to go. And it's your emotions. You don't even need anyone to tell you, because no one can give you accurate advice, because no one knows your path of least resistance. And it's so interesting, it's so fun when you really get to this place of expectation, because now it's not like the desires are not going to come. The desires don't come to prove. Desires just come for fun. They're just fun. Like, I already know what's gonna come, but I'm still excited to see how it is, because now I don't need to see it. My emotions are telling me like, oh yes, I'm on the right path. Because when you use your emotions to tell you you're on the right path, you continue on your path. You're on your way, and guess what happens? You get to where you want to go. You get to where, and that's what we're saying. You're on the path to everything that you want. You're on your path to all the big things. Yes, you are. You can't get off of that. You should not have told the universe what you wanted. You should not have set the stream so fast, because you're going, but you can hinder yourself. You can hinder yourself with negative emotions. And well, let's say that better. You can hinder yourself with thoughts that feel like negative emotions. Yes, you can, because your emotions are really about your vibrational alignment. They really are about your vibrational alignment, which your source energy. And since your source energy knows where everything is, once you align with your source, it has to come into your mind. It has to. But what we're saying is that it's for the journey. It's for the journey. You should sit tight and don't sit tight. Live your life now. Be as happy as you can now. And just realize, I can't stop the flow. I'm going to get to where I want to go. And live in this expectation of like, yes, it's just going to fall into my lap. I don't even have to go out there and do anything, because my emotions, my good feeling about this manifestation is my indication that I'm on the right path. Ooh, that's crazy. I'm on the right path. It's a done deal. It's about to happen. And when you feel that little, that pinch of negative emotions, like, oh, am I really on the right path? I don't see it. It's literally like, oh, like, that's fine, because that's how I know I'm really on my path. Because if I couldn't feel negative emotion, that would mean that there would be no path to begin with. But the fact that I feel negative emotion and it feels so strong because I want this so much, and I want this so much, that means that the path really exists and that I'm really on my path. Because if there's no negative emotion, then it would mean, if this thought didn't feel like negative emotion, if it didn't hit me in the gut, then that would prove that there's no path. But since it does feel awful to think that means that this path is ready, and I'm going there. I'm marching along, and then you get into this attitude of like, everything really works out for me. I just get everything that I want. You don't look at this desire and be like, oh my god, it's so big. You just think, oh, I'm going to like throw that on my path too, because I'm gonna experience that. And that's what we want for you. We want so much for you to know how powerful you are, but also we want you to know that your power doesn't lie in your thought. It lies in the purity of your thought. It lies in your vibration. It lies in how you feel. Because when you use your guide, because your guidance system is powerful, it's literally like a GPS. You can literally put in the end destination and use your GPS to take you there. But the thing is, you can't. Your GPS is not your eye. Your GPS is your emotion. And so when you put that end goal in, when you put that stop that you're gonna take the subway to take you to, you don't doubt it, because you know that this GPS system will have to take me there. You don't doubt your GPS system. You don't doubt that your GPS system is leading you on the path of least disturbance, least time. That it factors in all the the closures and all the roads and the lights, and it factors in everything in, and gives you the path of least resistance. It is the same thing with your desires. Everything can happen quick, because it's not time. When we say that you have to be really steady about your vibration, you have to be steady about your expectation, you have to be steady in your knowledge of these laws of the universe. It's not, time is irrelevant. Time doesn't mean anything, because time is perceptual. So that means that everything can happen literally instantly. It could happen so fast that you would literally be like, it would defy your logic. It would defy your logic. You would be like, what? And then you would have so many success stories. You would be commenting here and be like, damn, like, I really listen to this. I understand that. I can't use my eyes because it's all about my emotions. How I feel. Oh, I feel good about my billions. I really do. So I'm on the right path. But I understand And I kind of look in the reality to see evidence, because when I look in the reality to see evidence, I see inaccurate depiction of what my vibration reality is, because it's all forward feeling, and it's just lit. It's lit. Expectation gang. We just expect. And if you made it to the end of the video, let us know what are those big desires that you're interested in, and tell us how do they feel, and how do you feel knowing that you're on the path to everything.